Alex, let's get right into it because a report from one Benjamin Albright from out in Denver came out just about, I want to say, little over an hour ago, and that
Yeah, I
is
called
that
it like 2 hours ago.
sure 2 hours ago, and that is that the Patriots have interest in one Jerry Jeudy. They have been inquiring about on Jerry Jeudy, and so this came out yesterday that they had been making calls. Then it dialed down after the Juju Smith-Schuster news came out, but Patriots are back in on Jeudy according to Albright, and so he also reported that it's looking like Denver's looking for either a first round pick or a second round pick and a player in exchange for Jeudy. So that's what it is. That's the report. That's the price. Patriots are in.
Patriots Beat is brought to you by FanDuel. Sign up at fanduel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet.
Do you like it? Is it overlap with Juju? Can they make it work? And yeah, what are your initial thoughts on the fact that they are apparently still in on Jeudy?
Just when I was out, they pulled me back in, right? I said on
Yeah.
the show yesterday, hand up, we're done with Jerry Jeudy, blah, blah, blah. They had their slot receiver. So let me start here. I'd be interested to know, he just sort of said these teams have been in. Albright did actually. Let me see. I think I have the exact tweet right here. Yeah. So he says, source confirms multiple teams have called inquiring about wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Price tag remains high, asking for a first or second plus a player. New England, Cleveland, and Dallas, among others, inquiring.
Yep.
What's the timeline on that, right? Is it possible the Patriots were inquiring and then they got Juju Smith-Schuster, and now they're no longer inquiring? Like, I think that's a possibility here.
Sure.
If they really do want to pair the both of them, I think you just take advantage of the positional flexibility or the formational flexibility, the formational versatility, and you move them around. And they cut, Juju was a 50-50 guy last year, slot and boundary. He was better in the slot.
Sure.
Which is why I thought it made sense for him to be the primary slot guy here. The same could be said about Jeudy. He's played on the outside. He's done it, but he's better in the slot. But I guess if you rotate them, you can create some matchup nightmares and things like that. So that would be my guess as to what it would look like. Is there isn't one defined slot receiver. They alternate. Maybe they do some double slot stuff. O'Brien did that when he was here at his first run, 2009, 2011, with Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola. So, or it would have been Wes Welker and
Edelman.
Wes Welker and Edelman. Yeah, that's right. The Patriots have done double slot, or they did do double slot with Edelman and Amendola as well. So you can do it.
Right.
But that's my guess. I still think this is maybe a little, I think the timeline's off here. I think they were in reporting. Yeah, not delayed reporting necessarily, but Albright goes, who have you been talking to? The Broncos tell them who they've been talking to, but, they want as many teams on that list as possible, right? Why are they going to clarify that they haven't talked to the Patriots in the last 24 hours? They talked to them. So that's my guess.
Alex, you're one that's you're kind of bursting the bubble a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I think people are happy about this one.
I just try to be realistic.
Yeah, I feel you. I do. And you're right. That could be the case, but maybe they are still in. So I'll give a little bit of hope here for us, for Patriots fans, right? I love the idea of bringing him in right on top of Juju Smith-Schuster. Like you said, they're both better in the slot, but neither of them are pure slots. So they can play inside and outside. They've both done – Judy's done both in college. He's done both with Denver. And Juju has done both in Kansas City, and he's done both in Pittsburgh. They're better in the slot. They might be a better mismatch in the slot, but they can play outside. So I don't know what the package would be. It sounds like they want an early second and a player. Pick 46 is not as early as you'd like it to be in the second round.
But top half.
It's top half of the second round, and so
that's what I read early. Early to me, and this is just a guess, means top 50.
Sure. Okay. That's fair. So look, you send 46 and maybe a Kendrick Bourne. You send 46 and a Josh Uche. 46 and Devontae Parker. I think they'll still want that outside guy, and I don't know if Parker does the trick, but
no, he's redundant with Sutton. They want Bourne if it's going to be a receiver. If they're going to do it, I like the idea of moving Uche better than moving Bourne. Now, I think they'd rather move Bourne because pretty clearly they don't get along with him. And it's annoying that they don't, because I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
But to me, like, I still think Kendrick Bourne give you something, even in an offense that has Jerry Jeudy and Juju Smith-Schuster. I think Kendrick Bourne gives you a dynamic you don't have in terms of the big playability.
Yeah.
The thing for me with Uche, and if they're going to make any sort of trade, right? Josh Uche is in a contract year. He's coming off a ridiculous second half of the last season that doesn't match up with his first 2.5 years in the NFL.
Right.
I don't think they're going to pay him. Like, he's a big time sell high kind of player to me. If they're going to make a move, like, that's the guy I would put out there. And frankly, Uche's probably worth a little more than Bourne. Maybe you don't have to give up this year's second round pick. Maybe you can do Uche and next year's second round
pick. At that
pick.
point, you're going to get outbid. Someone's going to give up a
really
second
like Josh
year.
Uche. Unless they really like Josh Uche.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's. I would agree with you that I don't think it's redundant. I think they can clearly make that work. Like you said,
it's not redundant, but I'd rather see them add a boundary guy. I really would.
So at this point, you'd still rather them try. I know the report is they're out on Hopkins, but you'd still rather see them get that across the finish line than Jeudy, even with the age.
It makes so the guy I'm interested in. I have to credit Evan Lazar for this take because he came up with it somehow. I can't believe it because it's a very me take. It's Brandon Cooks.
Really?
What they need a boundary guy, and they need speed.
Yeah,
Brandon Cooks, you don't have to give up a ton for him, and he essentially becomes your insurance if Tyquan Thornton doesn't max out. And if Thornton does max out, congratulations, you have a ton of speed on the field.
Right.
Like, to me, that's the guy. That would be the guy. Look, I'll take Jeudy if they get him. I'm not going to be mad if they get him, but build a complete offense. Like, that should be the priority at this point.
I want a little bit more size at receiver. I mean, yeah, Juju's tall, but he's a tall slot. And so if you go Cooks, who's an outside receiver, he's only 5'10". So, I mean, yeah, he's a burner. He's not going to be your go up and get it guy. He's always been a guy to me, and we saw it when they played in the Super Bowl. I'm not huge on Brandon Cooks. I'm just not. He's obviously solid, and his numbers speak for themselves, but he's kind of got those T-Rex arms. I don't really see him as a guy who's going to, fully lay out. He's going to be on his 5th team in 5-6 years now, right? And so
he's drawn the 3rd most pass interference penalties of any receiver in football since he entered the league. So
that's like
he can go get to the ball. And I like, maybe it's not like a 50-50 thing, but like,
sure.
Part of drawing a lot of penalties is making every throw competitive, and he makes every throw competitive.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you hate Max arm strength, hey, he's a guy that knows how to take advantage of underthrown balls. I'm just saying.
Fair.
So I forget. Sorry, you can continue your point.
No, that's fine. I'm DeAndre Hopkins over Brandon Cooks. And I
mean, Hopkins is a better play. I have no clue what Cooks is going to cost.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's Hopkins for a 2nd or Cooks for a 3rd, give me Hopkins.
Yeah, right.
If it's Hopkins for a 2nd and Cooks for like a 5th, I'll take Cooks.
Yeah, that's. But I don't know. See, I don't want to play. I mean, okay, you do have to play the value game, but at that point, it's like, let's just go make our team better. I think trading for Hopkins for a 2nd versus Cooks for a 5th, I'm still doing the Hopkins for a 2nd because it makes your team better. That's what we need right now. So,
and honest, I might probably do that too. They might not look that way. They might not look at it that way. Oh, the other thing I was going to say, remember, you're talking about size.
Yeah.
You got a big slot in Juju Smith-Schuster. Parker's obviously a big guy. Thornton's not like big, but he's tall.
Yeah.
I think you have decent size. You're not the biggest team in the world, but you have decent size.
That's fair. But again, Patriots in on Jeudy. According to Albright, it could be not a delayed report, but they could have been roped in with the newer report from yesterday. But it sounds like they are in fact inquiring still on him, and so I love the move. I really think that would be huge. Reunite him with Mac Jones. I know they didn't play with each other a lot, but they played enough when Tua got hurt that year with the hip.
Right.
I think Jeudy would be awesome in this system right alongside Juju Smith-Schuster.